The history of Ukraine is a long and complex one, dating back to the prehistoric era. The region has been inhabited by a variety of peoples over the centuries, including the Scythians, Goths, Huns, Slavs, and Mongols. In the 9th century, the Kievan Rus emerged as a powerful state in Eastern Europe. The Rus were a Slavic people who migrated to the region from Scandinavia. They established a vast empire that stretched from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea. The Kievan Rus was a major center of trade and culture, and its influence can still be seen in Ukraine today. The Kievan Rus declined in the 13th century, and the region was divided into several smaller principalities. In the 14th century, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania conquered much of Ukraine. The Lithuanians ruled Ukraine for over 200 years, and during this time, the Ukrainian language and culture began to develop. In the 16th century, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was formed. Ukraine was divided between the Commonwealth and the Ottoman Empire. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was a multi-ethnic state, and the Ukrainians enjoyed a degree of autonomy under its rule. In the 18th century, the Russian Empire conquered most of Ukraine. The Russians ruled Ukraine for over 200 years, and during this time, the Ukrainian language and culture were suppressed. The Ukrainian national movement began to gain momentum in the late 19th century. In 1917, Ukraine declared its independence from the Russian Empire. However, the independence was short-lived, and Ukraine was soon divided between the Soviet Union and Poland. In 1932–33, the Soviet Union orchestrated a famine in Ukraine known as the Holodomor. The famine killed millions of Ukrainians, and it is considered a genocide by many historians. During World War II, Ukraine was invaded by Nazi Germany. The Germans committed many atrocities against the Ukrainian people, including the Holocaust. After the war, Ukraine became a republic of the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union suppressed Ukrainian culture and language, but the Ukrainian national movement continued to grow. In 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed, and Ukraine declared its independence. The country has since been struggling to build a democratic and prosperous society. Ukraine is a young country with a rich and complex history. The Ukrainian people have faced many challenges over the centuries, but they have always persevered. The country is now on the path to democracy and prosperity, and its future looks bright. Some of the key events in the history of Ukraine. 9th century, the Kievan Rus emerges as a powerful state in Eastern Europe. 13th century, the Kievan Rus declines, and the region is divided into several smaller principalities. 14th century, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania conquers much of Ukraine. 16th century, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth is formed. 18th century, the Russian Empire conquers most of Ukraine. 1917, Ukraine declares its independence from the Russian Empire. 1932–33, the Soviet Union orchestrates the Holodomor famine in Ukraine. 1941–45, Ukraine is invaded by Nazi Germany. 1991, the Soviet Union collapses, and Ukraine declares its independence. The history of Ukraine is a long and complex one, but it is also a story of resilience and hope. The Ukrainian people have faced many challenges over the centuries, but they have always persevered. The country is now on the path to democracy and prosperity, and its future looks bright.